I'm thinking about it more now, and I'm thinking the win rate is probably not Yopaj's. Maybe it's a bit. I'm just saying, you know, the matchup into Kunkka makes you want to like die inside like 8 times over, and you're gonna die physically in the game like 8 times over as well. So it's kind of sad. But maybe he's just like, you know what, guys? Game 1 was pretty easy. Let's get a challenge going.
I've always been a big fan of this combination of Disruptor plus offlane hero that gives vision.
Right.
This was something that Vici Gaming way back in 2015, 2016, somewhere in there, would run constantly. Disruptor, Night Stalker. They would run that duo a lot because obviously Night Stalker was like this, when it's nighttime, you don't want to fight into that hero. He gives you superior vision, and it allows the Disruptor to be able to force fights or force pickoffs that you just can't win. So Beastmaster, kind of similar situation where the vision from the Hawk can help Disruptor quite a bit. You've got really strong team fight naturally with your first 2 pickups as well, so there are going to be times where Boom just don't want to fight you. Add on top of everything else, Beastmaster versus the Lifestealer, right? BKB, Piercing, Disable, really important. It's also a hero that can actually beat Lifestealer in lane, just depending on how good the supports are on both sides, like how good they are at killing boars, basically.
And it's Bane, which is okay at killing boars.
It's okay, but it's not as good as, you know, like a Crystal Maiden or like a Witch Doctor or something like that. So I'm going to assume that his boars are going to stay alive. Which means Beastmaster will probably start winning the lane relatively well, especially by like level 5. Biggest danger of Beastmaster lanes is feeding away your boards at level 1 because they give so much experience. And what pro players have gotten really good at lately is that like once they get a level advantage, they will force a fight on you. And that's something that like you'll see creep wave manipulation happen all the time just to ensure like, oh, we're going to hit level 2 or we're going to hit level 3 before they do. And then the moment we get that, we force that fight on them, and that's how they end up winning the lane, right? So I think OB.Neon's going to do pretty well with this Beastmaster, at least I'm hoping so, because it'll give us a chance at a closer game 2, though I am still firmly on the Boom side of things.
In this draft or the team?
I just believe they're the better team.
I mean, that's true, because with the Beastmaster, there's a lot of caveats here of, like, can they actually execute to that degree that you're mentioning, and it's not as simple with a Beastmaster, particularly.
I mean, I do think they can. I think Neon's is kind of... I do think Neon's lineup is actually pretty easy to execute, and they still have another last pick here that's going to come in for them. I think the best thing that Boom's doing right now is, while I was talking about these initiating offlaners, Brewmaster is a hero that doesn't need a blink to team fight, right?
True.
So he's just going to have the split that's going to allow them to fight into Neon, if they so choose to do so. Whatever last hero they pick right now is what's going to have to fight with this Brewmaster. They're either going to shy away from fighting and pick something else, maybe they split push some lanes, something like a Puck type hero, or they'll fully commit into like, we're just going to try and match your tempo and go fight you. I think Brewmaster is pretty good for that.
Okay. I mean, OB.Neon could always go for the same bet as last time and just pick a carry that this time beats Lifestealer, which is much easier, and take it to the late game, pray that they can. And Boom goes for the tempo bet again. This is the Lifestealer TA that I was talking about earlier. Always a nice combo.
I feel like their lineup's just a little bit greedy with that TA pickup. I'm not sure how many. I guess they didn't have too many options. Ember would have felt pretty bad.
Ember's banned anyway.
Okay, it was already banned. All the Spirit Heroes were banned.
5 seconds remaining.
Yep.
Do you not think Puck would have been good? I guess it's harder to disrupt a little bit, but like Beastmaster has so much wind up on Roar, it's not like you're gonna get killed by that. Kunkka can't really combo you. It's too late now, but
I still think Beastmaster Puck, it's just annoying because it's a point and click stun, right?
Yeah.
And like you just have to play kind of scared. I don't know.
I just knew Yopaj played a lot of it as well.
Yeah, Yopaj was a crazy good Puck.
It's a really great Puck.
Well, maybe it's a Tim's TA and they're playing Yopaj Wind Ranger. The
Hell
dream's
yeah.
alive.
I just feel like FBZ and Tim's are gonna have to carry a lot of this game. For them.
That is fascinating. That's a carry, Kunkka.
Yeah, they swapped it up. With this pickup, it does mean that OB.Neon's going to be playing like a really fast game. Right?
Yeah.
Like a safe lane Kunkka, Lina is basically your true carry
Yes.
at that point in time, right? It's cool, I think, I hope.
Not sure how I feel.
I like Neon's. I like Neon's lineup more, but Boom is just a better skilled team as we saw from last game. So we'll see how they do.
I think Boom has a better lineup, and I think they have a better draft because I don't know what the hell this safe lane Kunga is going to do for him. It's cool, it's interesting, but I'm not going to buy it, you know?
They just have such good.
It's like some art that you see in like some abstract art in a museum. You know, like that's cool, but I'm not gonna spend $10,000 on it to have it inside my home. It's nice to look.
Okay, all right. We have one believer, one non-believer,
No,
2 teams, and also 2 casters. So it's time to say hello to GoDz and lizZard. Take it away.
Well, hello, lizZard. Welcome. We've got ourselves game number 2. Hopefully, a bit more close maybe than game number 1. Do you believe that these drafts are going to get us to a bit of a closer game here? What are you thinking?
I agree with the panel. I think Boom has proven to everyone that they're maybe a little bit more skilled. But I do like what Neon has got going for them. I don't mind the Skunka as well. I like some stuff. Yeah, it is in the safe lane, sure. But you have the Catch versus Windranger this time. And Tims shouldn't have the freest game of his life. On paper, he shouldn't, but it's Tims.
Absolutely. One thing, I think some fans will be disappointed in is that we're not seeing the Mamang Daya Kunkka. It is his signature hero. He's played almost 2,000 pub games of it. Pro Dota, it's by far his most played hero. He is the Kunkka player, but not this game. So definitely big shoes to fill for Palos. A lot of people are going to be, if he doesn't perform well, everyone's going to be saying, should have let Mamang Daya play.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of a bait, right? You pick Kunkka, you make them get a hero that's decent versus you, then you pick something that's decent versus this hero. Elena is definitely all right in the lane versus TA, but this matchup isn't really one-sided at all. TA at some point gets on top of you, you get eliminated. I mean, I feel that they could have maybe drafted something that would negate the TA effect even harder. Lina is fine, but it's not the outmost counter to TA in any case.
Not some big gotcha pick to round out their draft. Well, we'll see how things unravel here as we get ourselves into game number 2. As mentioned, even though game 1 was one-sided last time these teams met, OB.Neon did force a game 3, and they're looking to do the same thing here with a bit of a different draft, and we'll see if their playstyle... I mean, they talked about their own playstyle as being this more slower-paced, farm-heavy game, but to me, lizZard, I see their draft, and I don't think they're maybe that greedy this time around.
Oh yeah, no way. You can't be greedy with this draft, and I think that's maybe good for them, because they'll have to play around this Beastmaster and Kunkka, take early objectives, which they weren't really able to do in first game. I think maybe this will suit them better versus Boom, at least.
Okay. Well, we'll take a little look at what some of these lanes are going to be. We've got the Bane Lifestealer up against Snapfire and Beastmaster. We had the TA, as mentioned, up against Lina mid. And in the top lane, Brewmaster and Windranger. Tims and FBZ up against Palos and Arbang on the Kunkka Disruptor. Any lanes you have your eye on as far as being like the key lanes or where you expect any action to happen?
I feel like Neon should have a good time on every single lane. I'm not seeing that at the moment, but I don't feel that their lanes are weaker at all. Like on top lane, you have Disruptor versus Tims. You can glimpse him back, you can put him in kinetic field. There's also Xmart the spot versus him. On bottom lane, there aren't many lanes that Bane doesn't bully, but you're playing versus Grandma and Beastmaster, and it's not an easy lane for Bane as well. Not an easy lane for Lifestealer as well, so I feel like Neon should come out slightly on top, at least around minute 10.
Yeah, and Snapfire's been one of these heroes I just feel like is crushing every game I've seen in SCA so far. Him gets low up top, but has a couple of tangos to continually heal him up, and yeah, a lot of, potential physical damage up. When you look at Beastmaster with the Boar and the Aura, Snapfire with what I imagine is going to be a little Shredder build, the damage output is something that Lifesteal has to be very wary of.
Mm-hmm. And if you think about Neon, I think they finalized their draft with this Lina to give them some more damage, some more right-click later on in the game, right? This is what they definitely needed. Because Kunkka is fine, but you really, when you were playing Kunkka, you just want to run up front with that BKB armlet or whatnot and tank out all the damage. You do dish out some as well, but you're not necessarily the main damage dealer in your team.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what build he goes. Has the armlet queued up, so no surprises there for the safe lane Kunkka going for an early kind of damage item, and see where things end up after that. For now, looking at some of these lanes, constant harass battle up top and mid lane, very even. Lina, TA, both sitting on 14 CS. It's a Yopaj, as you mentioned. Everyone's idle in the SA region, and Mamang Daya, one of these breakout mid players. Is this kind of how you expected this mid lane to go?
I feel that Yopaj started the lane a bit better. He had a better control of the equilibrium on mid lane. He was always on his high ground, which he is right now, as you can see. And because of that, Lina isn't doing a little bit better. I think Lina should still do a little bit better early on, at least. As a hero, I mean hero-to-hero matchup. Scam bot lane.
Yep, they get the cookie in. Ryu gets the jump. They follow it with a scatter blast. So no point in the early little shredder could lead to a kill as Scam uses the nightmare to save his own life. Great heads-up move from him, and he has the salve.
In that situation, they could have killed him if they waited with taking the sleep off before Beastmaster is in the right position. Right? If he's behind Bane, he would eat a couple of hits from the tower, but they would get the kill 100%.
And for
I
first
guess,
blood, it would definitely worth it.
yeah, for sure. But I guess you're kind of fine with this as well. You force his salve, he needs to move away.
4-minute runes coming up. Mamang Daya going to get denied a water rune, but he got the bounty rune and got a stack on his little camp, so not too big of a deal for him. He's, you know, sitting full health, full mana, more or less, so his mid lane not going to be crippled too much by losing that rune. Bane coming in does get scattered by a ward, though, so they know what Bane is up to, but Bane...
What's he up to? I'm actually not sure.
He blocked the camp, it looks like, and then de-sentry the enemy sentry, because I believe earlier Mamang Daya had unblocked his camp, so I guess he's just reblocking it.
Yeah. There isn't really a lot that he can do on the bottom lane as well. As you could see, Beastmaster is level 3. The moment he gets that, he has his two little boars named Bob. Bobs are a menace. Like, you can't fight with Bob anymore. Bob is gonna beat you.
But Bob was playing on a different team. What's going on here? OB.Neon doing six.
Is
They
it
taking the alliance strats. No.
I see.
The 6v5. Bob's a player, one of the mid laners for another team. We saw Bob playing yesterday.
Yeah. Bob the boar.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been demoted from mid lane to just being a boar. But, here comes the rotation. Tim's is TP down bottom. Looking for the first blood, which is still yet to happen. Narman going to cookie himself out. Gets the stun on Tim's and unblocks himself. So Tim's rotates and doesn't really succeed in anything. They kill some Bobs. That's about it.
Bob was sacrificed. Yeah, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, I feel the lanes for OB.Neon are much better set up. They just have to be careful when it comes to these tri-lanes, right? Yeah. And now...
TP down bottom from Disruptor. They've gone in as Onryu gets shackled up to start things off, but perhaps a bit of a bait here. They want Schem as Tim's win runs away. They'll get first blood onto Narman.
Yeah, I feel that there's just much better setup for success this time around. They might even pressure this tier 1 on the bottom lane. I don't believe TA will be able to help out a lot.
Yeah, I'm not sure TA is the kind of hero you think of rotating this early on, but does have a haste rune, so if there's any rune to rotate with as a TA this early on, haste is probably one of the best.
Keep in mind that FBZ is also only level 4. Yeah, he's about to hit 5, but he can't be the one that just rotates in TPs and saves the tower, if they pressure it right now. I
mean, you talk about him rotating, Kunkka level 6, if he rotates, that's a potential ghost ship for a lot of damage that could find a kill.
I feel what they need at the moment, at least, is Roar, right? Once you get that Roar on Beastmaster, you have BKB piercing ability, you can kill off Lifestealer. Tino is in problems. Up to that point, he'll be able to defend the tower.
Yeah. And one thing they haven't done, partly because of Schem, is really stack many camps. I feel like that's something where last game they got so heavily outfarmed because of the stack game. He's going to block it with a sentry. Schem, got to imagine they're going to get a kill and probably also unblock this. Schem is going to go down. He's just being a bit of a nuisance here.
That's smoke.
Yeah, but I saw smoke too.
It happens.
Yeah. Mistakes were made. And then they took out his... did they take out a... No, yeah, they did take out a sentry, so they unblocked the camp. Bottom lane. Yeah.
That's a sick play. Yep. Enryu actually, he has that Helm of Dominator. He dominates the Centaur as Tino is killing it, stuns him, and almost sets up for a kill. decent play.
Yep. Unfortunately, just not level 6 yet. But Life still gets salved up. He may look to run in here. They shackle, looking for that creep. They want to kill this Helm creep, the Centaur. He's going to use that hoof stomp, the brain sap. It's not enough damage, but the power shot will finish it off. 100 gold. Easy for Tims. Most hype of kills, but it's something nonetheless. You know, it's a slow-paced game. I'm going to hype up something here, lizZard.
I guess Boom is just satisfied with killing anything, right?
Yeah.
Some blobs, some centaurs.
They see summons. That's what they're going for. But
my only issue right now is that I feel that Neon could have maybe exploited this advantage a little bit more. I feel that they could have done more on the bottom lane. I think that Kunkka, perhaps, he has his armlet level 6, can rotate already.
Perhaps it was that level 6 the roar that they were waiting for. And now they've got it, though. Beastmaster is out of mana. Maybe that Arcane Ring gets shipped to him. That would help him out. He's got Clarity now. They cookie in, but Tino uses the Rage to dodge the cookie stun. Onryu going to Clarity up, so that's going to give him mana for roar soon. But he's, you know, every time you're summoning these boars, that's chewing away at that mana pool of his.
There's some clarities now. Norman as well. Narman. He can help out.
Oh, Lifestealer has to pop his Infest out as takes a creep. They just want this time. You know, they learned from last game. You were harping on this. They got to take objectives, and this time around they picked the hero to do it, and they're trying to do that down bottom.
It definitely helps. It is 9 minutes in with the Beastmaster that has had a free lane, more or less, which feels a little bit late, but it's fine. It's the step in the right direction. Meanwhile, Kunkka is free farming top lane, right? So you're getting pretty much free farm on 3 lanes. It's good.
And Kunkka's got all this solo XP, so when he does rotate, he's going to have, for now, level 3 X, but soon that X is going to be maxed out. Bottom lane, meanwhile, Tim's trying to defend the tower. Gets stunned up, and now they're going to look to chase this one down, but with FBZ rotating in, they throw out the Primal Split. Snapfire going to finish off the kill on Tims, but may pay the price as they trade supports, trade offlane for support, and I imagine Norman going to be going down as well if he's not careful here. Brewmaster Cyclone making sure he doesn't run away, and yeah, they're just going to let him go down.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yep.
So now the question is this worth it for Boom because they rotated so many heroes and used the Primal Split? I believe it is. I think they're exploiting the fact that Neon is way too greedy. Like, they have an advantage, but they're pushing it a little bit too far.
Yeah.
You're trying to take the tier 2, tier 1 on bottom lane without committing. They didn't commit anything, right? Just the Beastmaster and the Snapfire. Kunkka didn't rotate, Lina didn't rotate.
And it feels like the kind of fight, if Kunkka was there, they would have maybe traded a couple more kills favorably, or even gotten the tower, because this Kunkka is massive.
Sure, yeah. For sure,
I think mask as well, so he's well set.
Yeah, I think that would be a tower and a team fight for you. They would have won it. And now they're just letting Boom have all the first moves, and you have grip now, right?
They're baiting top. Palos, he's got a smoke rotation coming his way with the grip. Can they cancel? This cookie is coming. Okay, they get the torrent. Palos keeps himself alive. Now the ghost ship going to go flying in as well, but Palos in some trouble, gets the kisses to help him out. Infest is going to help bring him down and save the life of Tino. Ooh, big kill going the way of Boom Esports. Bottom though. Brewmaster without a Primal Split. They'll get the kill with Mamangaya rotating in. Tower's still alive though, and Yopaj may get a counter kill here. Onryu in all sorts of trouble goes down to the Melt Strike. So, Boom defending these towers and making plays themselves.
Yeah, look, if you're looking at this as a coach, right, as someone that has led a team and whatnot, you're just telling them, guys, you need to decide on one objective and take it. You can't win lanes, have better lanes. Your draft is good, and then just greed out way too hard. They literally let Boom do what they wanted to. Every move so far has been made by Boom, right? You don't see OB.Neon making many rotations, if any. They're just peeping back to the lanes and trying to take towers. That's it. Paulus hasn't left top lane.
Yeah, and that's pretty unusual for any carry. I guess maybe Kunkka is just a stronger laner, so he can stay in lane. But this is a hero that typically is thought of as more of a playmaker, so it's a bit surprising to see Kunkka just sit in top lane and not make any kind of a move. It's Mamangaya who makes the first move, but that's a boosted trouble Lina, so a lot of greed coming out. But this is a big kill. This is going to maybe make this greed look a little bit better if they can kill the TM with the Laguna Blade. Yopaj, have they got detection? Yes, they do.
Dire structures are
This finally should be the tier 1 as well, right?
Yeah.
You go bottom now. There is no way you defend it.
is under attack.
There's the move. They get
This
a TA kill and a tier 1 tower.
This is something that I think Cap talked about. The Lifestealer plus TA might be a little bit on a greedier side,
Dire's top
as one hero out of these two has to be farming at all times. And I think it's fine that Tino is the one being more active, taking top. You just need to protect the triangle.
Mid lane. They've brought Tims back in with the glimpse, and they'll finish him up using the Mortimer's Kisses. They're going to be a little bit careful. They committed a lot for that kill, and Lina a bit low on mana. Isn't going to get the stun to stop the split, so now we've got problems for Palos, who throws up the Ghost Ship. That's going to help make him a bit tankier, but now he's been caught by the Fiend's grip. Should be going down here as Eltmer on the sidelines. TA's been caught by the Roar here. Can they follow him up with a cookie? They sure can, and Yopaj gets brought low, brought down by the Dragon Slavers. Tims buys back. He wants the kill on Mamangaya. Lina now in trouble, caught by the clap. He knows he's going down. He's trying to do as much damage as he can, but boom, are holding their own, and they're fighting with numbers here as they look to chase down the Beastmaster as well. He's just going to hold his ground. Nice cookie to the high ground. Into the TP. Is there a TP cancel? No siree. He gets out of there.
Yeah, Shackle Shot was still on cooldown for 1 second, and I love how he just turned and waited for the cookie.
He looked AFK for a second. Like, I was like, oh, he's just dying? Like, what's going on here?
The good old fake that you're DC'd.
Well, they've caught Brew now. He gets pulled into a X-Torrent combo, and FBZ. He's done just a bit out of position there. I think perhaps thinking the fight was over and that he was safe.
Yeah, they also don't have any vision there, right? So he couldn't tell for sure if they will rotate on him or not. A bit greedier from FBZ, but it's really the way he plays his offlaners. He likes to be in the enemy lines, take some gold away from them. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Oh, Tim's gonna walk into the smoke and actually, well, he gets glimpsed back in. Is he gonna still go down here? Laguna Blade's gonna be enough damage as Arbang does die to the tower plus TA hits. They saw that move coming. Boom actually used the scan and scouted the smoke as OB.Neon want to steal these stacks here. FBZ doesn't have Primal Split, so not sure Boom can fight this one, but they're going to try. The ward on the high ground causing some problems as Bane wants to de-ward it. Pays the price for his life. And, uh-oh, this is looking bad for Boom. They're just getting obliterated. Caught in the meat grinder. The LSA catching two, and now the last kill onto the TA. It's a team wipe. Oh, OB.Neon, they lose Mamangaya. They got the team wipe first at least, but what a good fight for OB.Neon.
They just have all the answers. If they're together, you didn't have Windranger first. And second, you're trying to go on the high ground where they already set up the wards, and they have every spell possible. You didn't have Split, they had Roar, they had Boat, they had Snapfire, Mortimer's Kisses. It's very greedy from Boom. I would even say a little bit disrespectful to go on that high ground and take that fight. Yeah. You want to defend your Ancients, but you aren't winning that fight. There is no way.
One of those, yeah, should just give them up when you don't have your big spells, because Neon is so ready to fight now. They're incredibly strong. The Beastmaster going back for a Vlad. I feel like I never see this item. What's going on here?
Yeah, I agree.
It is still an item in Dota 2, as I imagine, you know, his cores, his Kunkka and Lina probably happy to see, you know, that on one of their teammates, but see how Beastmaster fares. He's got the helm of the, of course, Helm of the Overlord, the reason why he's going for this Vlad. He wants the upgrade. We'll see some of those big Ancients coming into play.
He's actually very close to it. He has it, so with the Helm, he'll be even stronger, brings a lot to his teammates. You just have to be very careful. If you're Boom right now, you are not stronger. You need to wait a little bit more. You need some farm.
And this Disruptor pick is just doing so much work. Arbang is just constantly catching Tims. And the Vision is what's really allowed this. The Vision game is being won by Arbang here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's something that surprised me that they picked Tim's Windranger when there was a Kunkka, and I believe Disruptor was already shown. Maybe one of those two heroes were picked after.
Kunkka was first too, and I think Disruptor was picked third.
Yeah,
I think they sold both of them.
early.
Yeah,
and they're perfect. These heroes are perfect versus Windranger. You just can't really play your game. Every time you Windrun, you're going to get glimpsed back. So
Oh,
Definitely a much better draft for Neon.
here we go. They're pushing.
Bob 2-0.
Bob, yeah, exactly. The upgraded Bob. The ancient Thunderhide
Tower has fallen.
pushing down lane after lane. A potential tier 2 trade. We'll see if they try and defend top. It looks like they're going to give it up for now as they focus a bit more towards the mid lane. So they can take the enemy outpost, but they may lose their own outpost.
Dire's
As-
top tower has fallen.
OB.Neon. You got to imagine Roshan is something they're going to be eyeing off on the OB.Neon side with the amount of damage they can dish out. But they got to be careful about, any
They
team fight into a
definitely-
Bruce split.
I don't think they have to care that much. They have a BKB now on Lina. You have a double damage, you just go straight into the pit. Let's see, there's a trap. They didn't even reward it, by the way. So they have
Yep.
no sentries.
Gotta be careful. FBZ throws down some goo as they go charging in. Is he going to be able to get this Aegis? Doesn't look like it. Mamang Daya has it, and now they can look to force this fight. Bane survives on a sliver of health here as they change target and take down the Lifestealer and said this double damage Lina is just something you do not want to fight into as FBZ gets X, he gets Glimpse, he gets X, if he gets the Ag Scepter, he gets a second ulti up, so he's still okay. The Ag Scepter saving his life there. Are they
This is
going to
just
chase him
complete.
down? No.
This is just complete dominance. Like when you see
Yeah.
Neon fighting this way, you just know how much better their draft is. Like I understand Panel had some questions and doubts because of the first game and how it went, but it feels like they have all the answers. And look at Lina's build. Like Mamang Daya is going for Shiva's next, so he won't really be hurt by TA any longer as well.
Yeah. Very, very tanky. Nice play from Yopaz. I did stay alive with a good blink after X, but staying alive, can you defend though is the big question, because high ground, here we come. Beastmaster push with the Kunkka in the front lines being slept up. Disruptor takes off. Abang's gonna be careful. He can't get too out of position here. He's getting very low, and Cookie gonna
Lina,
push him
grip.
away here. Yeah, the grip's on the Lina, and there is an Aegis there. He's gonna BKB for when he respawns, but they're gonna have to force this fight. Buyback from the Disruptor. They want to try and hold their ground and take this one. Mamang Dai just pops the BKB as he comes out, looks to kill off Scam, and with the kisses, they should be able to finish this one off, but that's all they're gonna get. So they lose the Aegis, BKB committed by the Lina, and they're gonna have to disengage now. Perhaps a
They
bit
still
of
have
a
Static Storm,
preemptive
yeah.
push. Yep. Buyback from Bane. Static Storm coming into play. What an explosion from the Lifestealer initiation. He absolutely catches Neon by surprise. And oh man.
Oh man,
Hey.
you know what I was telling about Panel and them being doubtful? Okay, I can understand.
Yeah.
I can see that was just perfect execution by Boom.
Bit of a. I feel like Neon need to learn from what Boom did last game. Boom never rushed that high ground push, and the first thing Neon do when they got an Aegis, it feels like, is rush a high ground push.
For sure, I agree completely. They are powerful enough, but they at least need all their spells, right? And you didn't even have the boat because of the mana. Kunkka was really low on it. He had like 100 mana when they started pushing. There are just some things that you don't do. You have to wait for all your resources to actually use the advantage that you have. Because let's say you have Aegis, but your Kunkka doesn't have half of his spells. Your Disruptor doesn't as well.
Yeah.
You don't really have an advantage there. Still though, Boom played that really, really well. The blink back with the infest on TA, really nicely done.
Yep. Well, we'll see what the OB.Neon response is going to be. They're a bit of a surprise teamfight loss from them. They still got a small 2k gold lead, but a lot of momentum swinging back the way of Boom Esports now. And it's Boom Esports who have smoked up and looking to invade. Roll from Onryu onto the Lifestealer here, but I'm not sure they want to follow this one up. The Nightmare is there, and that's going to allow Tino to get off the rage. They want to bring down the Granite Golem. They'll do so. Primal Split
Just baiting
cancelled,
it.
yeah.
Again, they didn't have Static Storm. It was literally 1 second away. Maybe if he had it a bit earlier, he would be able to follow up on that roar, but maybe even better that he didn't. Look at Tino, by the way. Check his item build. This isn't something that you really see
Man.
very often on a Lifestealer.
Yeah, all in on survivability here with the Sanj into BKB. Perhaps wary of this. Disruptor is rushing an Ag Scepter, and thankfully for Abang, he's happy that he got this Philosopher's Stone. Without that, I would say, you know, he's not finishing this Ag Scepter, but Ag is going to be huge on Disruptor this game, I feel like, against, you know, the lifesteal of BKB, potential Bane Nightmare saves.
Yeah, come on, take that shovel as well, Abeng. Micro it. You put the shovel, you dig out the bounty, put Philly back in. Yeah, if he gets the antagonists fast enough, Lifestealer will feel really dumb and bad for going for the BKB if he gets caught, obviously, by the Ag Scepter.
He's hoping he's the one jumping in, starting the fight with like the Brewmaster, Blink Infest, or you know some hero that he can infest.
Well,
yeah, definitely feels like a game where whoever gets the jump has an advantage. Often, like you want to be the ones responding. This game, less so.
Yeah, that's the BKB completed. I believe TA isn't really that far away as well. Like somewhere around 700 gold to complete hers.
Yep. You mentioned the Lena's build with the Shivers just to play into the TA. Do you feel like they're going to have some damage problems though, like going for this more defensive Lena build?
Perhaps. I agree. Like if you remember, I even said that Lena is the damage dealer. Oh,
FBZ, Roar. Ooh, almost got the split off, but they committed a lot.
Yeah, I thought that Lena should be the main damage dealer, but it looked like they had enough. With all the auras, with Kunkka having that built-in crit,
yeah,
I felt like they really did have enough. The problem is, they pushed that advantage on that high ground push, and now it might not feel the same way. It might not seem like it's the same situation any longer.
They still seem to be the ones with the superior map control there, you know, finding the pickoffs and taking over the enemy side of the map, going for their ancients, and unfortunately for them, it's like they've got to wait around for next Roshan now, so there's still at least 2 minutes, and almost certainly longer before Roshan will be respawning for them.
Yeah, and you can see that they aren't controlling the map the same way Boom was in that last match, right? When Boom had an advantage, they were just constantly hunting you, you couldn't do anything. And when you consider that you're playing with a Kunkka and a Disruptor, I feel that you should be able to play on the enemy map a little bit more. Especially when you kill, like, Brewmaster, you killed him. I mean, why are you just on your side, chilling? You even have travels on Lena. It's just so easy to connect and make plays.
Beastmaster gets slowed by a trap. Can they get his... Nice TP. Very smart from Onryu.
Really well played.
He knew that smoke was coming. The second he got slowed, he's like, alright, TP. Let's hope they can't catch me.
And now they know exactly where everyone is. They're taking the outpost on top lane, which should allow OB.Neon to converge around the Radiant jungle.
This Kunkka, by the way, now full halberd. He is incredibly tanky and also just itemized very well for both TA and Lifestealer.
Shivas, I believe, is almost completed, if he's still going for Shivas even. Or is that
it looks like he didn't, he's just casual plate now? Looks like,
there's a courier with,
changing it up a bit. On the, oh yeah, the AC, yeah, AC, you're right, AC, now the switch up.
Is it his? I believe it boosts every like this. A lot of auras, kind of a playstyle that they're having with the Beastmaster, with the AC. Everyone is going to hit hard. You have Snapfire with Will Shredder, with Solar Crest.
And this is often the problem with lineups if you go, you know, we talk about mixed damage, like physical damage and magic damage, two main damage types. If you go too all in on one, particularly physical damage, it makes it very easy for your opponents to itemize. They just all go into, like, you know, items like Halberd or armor items.
And they're doing right that. You have Kunkka with Halberd, right? It's looking pretty solid right now for OB.Neon. If they can take the fight on their own terms, they need to be the one starting it.
Yopaj gets away. There was a attempted initiation there from Onryu with the Blink Roar, but doesn't find anyone that he was hoping to. Both teams posturing around Roshan. Rosh is respawned, and there's a trap, a Hawk there, so both teams know. And there'll be a constant standoff, but Boom have got a lot of good vision because of these traps, and that's something which it feels like OB.Neon have only partially addressed with some sentries. They're still constantly walking over these traps and revealing their position.
It's difficult, right? The only way to really play against that is to get a gem.
Yeah.
You can't really deal with that issue in any other way. A lot of sentries, yeah, it's possible, but they will get rewarded. And they're doing really well when it comes to the vision control. I feel like the Hawks are helping, like you said. There's traps on one side, but there's Hawks on the other too.
Yep. It feels like both teams have swapped sides here, as Boom play on the Dire side and Neon play on the Radiant side. Both teams cutting waves. It's very tactical right now, as both teams making all the right moves.
I feel that Boom has a slight advantage though, because of the outpost, right? They're controlling the place where they can TP and just buy back instantly in case of a fight and TP too.
Thanks to the Hawk, they could constantly take out those traps as well, but unfortunately for OB.Neon, they can't really go up back to their high ground because there's an observer ward just waiting for them on that cliff, and they probably know that, so they do not want to be making any kind of aggressive move. They just want to keep cutting this mid and top wave as best as possible.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Standoff will continue. Neither team wanting to give up this Roshan, but it's going to be a smoke now. OB.Neon, I believe, eluding any detection as they look to make this smoke. And how are they going to regain this high ground control? Boom just camping their ward. And Brewmaster, you've got to imagine his fingers on his R button, ready to pop that primal split the second he sees anybody. Yopaj is so close, but they've got another ward. They see Arbeng now, and he instantly blinks away out of vision as they de-ward that cliff. But it's OB.Neon who now have the vision control. Release of
Boom
this
has
cliff.
to back off at least a little bit. You can see the way that Boom is just playing around their vision. The moment they lose vision in an area, they're abandoning it. That's literally what happened in this Dire jungle on top lane. But then again, can you just abandon Roshan? I don't think so. I think you have to take this fight.
It almost feels like OB.Neon happy with taking out that one cliff. They probably know that Boom have just repositioned to the other cliff where they have got their ward, so not something they can perhaps address right now, and that's why they're trying to force this Roshan. Blink, Shackle going to be off the mark here as Brewmaster Primal splits in. They want to bring down this Beastmaster. Can he get off any rolls or anything? He's getting low. He does have buyback, so he's just going to let himself go down. Commit the buyback here as Yopaj is in trouble, but he gets the BKB off, and Lina Mamangaya goes down without buyback. The Fiend script, full duration almost, bringing him down as the glimpse away from Yopaj to stop any further chase, but the damage has been done as they've lost several, and the buyback continue with the Shackle on two. Tim's absolutely obliterating them. Pal's trying to do what damage he can, but he just hasn't got enough. Tim's going to invest to keep himself alive and take out the Thunderhide, and OB.Neon absolutely getting demolished here. Only a Bane kill as another Shackle going to catch on the Arbeng. Ultra kill for Yopaj. He's looking around for a fifth, but the fifth, well, it's Snapfire in the top lane. Narman not going to reveal himself as Boom have won the Roshan standoff.
I still feel that Boom outplays in this situation Neon completely. It's not that Neon doesn't have a good situation for them. They have a lot of wards, a lot of vision, they're in a good position, but they don't even use the roar after the initiation on the Beastmaster. I feel like in that situation you have to roar at least Dino.
Yeah.
Save your Lina, make her able to hit a couple of extra times, perhaps get out of a bad position. Like, you had even vision on them. They literally just ran into you, used Primal Split and everything else. It's a little bit shaky on the fingers from OB.Neon.
Yeah. And even just like for all these items they're slowly getting, it feels like they just need like a Force Staff or something somewhere. If they have a Force Staff for that Beastmaster, you know, it perhaps allows them to either get a better roar off or do something a bit different in that fight. But Disruptor's still no Aghanim Scepter. Unfortunately, that's just been basically a 0-item Disruptor here 30 minutes in.
But to your point, whenever you're playing versus a Lifestealer, Force Staff is probably one of the best items that you want to buy.
Yeah.
Versus these high DPS heroes with right clicks like TA, like Lifestealer, if you're a support, you either get the Ghost to protect yourself or Force Staff to protect anyone on your team. And right now, OB.Neon, they opted to go for one Ghost and one Aghanims. So I'm not sure Aghanims can be helpful, but the way these teamfights are going, they're always the ones on the receiving end. They can't really kite.
It's one of those things where the timing of the fight... Oh, hold that thought. On Ryu, he's in some trouble, and he just fought back too. He gets caught by a Shackle here. Can they bring him down? The Meld Strike hits, goes for the roll, doesn't get a chance to use it. The Wind Ranger, Gale, forcing OB.Neon not to try and commit to fight that one, but... It feels like with the Disruptor, like, if they didn't fight until he had Ags, it probably could look very different, but the fact that they're fighting now, it's like, you wish he had that Force Staff.
Oh, for sure. You'd rather have a hero that had that Philly Stone, get a Force Staff, perhaps a Glimmer Cape, anything that is able to buy you those extra few seconds so you can turn and use your spells. Damn!
Palos doing what he can to clear out these waves, but there's still one range creep, which is not going to get hit by the Torrent, so they'll get this Rex mid. Perhaps go for the top lane as well. We'll see if they want to force it, but it's Boom. They're constantly playing it safe when they go for these high ground pushes, something OB.Neon perhaps need to pick up from when they go back and watch these replays.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot to learn from this game on the side of OB.Neon. These games in which you have full control and then it kind of slips out of your hands. They forgot Titan Sliver at the Ancients.
Oh yeah, sitting behind. That'll make OB.Neon perhaps happy when they walk upon that one. Oh, they're pinging it. Skem's pinging it. He knows. He's sending a courier to go and rescue it. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Operation saving Private Titan Sliver is successful.
Yep. They got it. They got it. When it comes to OB.Neon, I'm thinking what item actually changes things here. They have an Orchid on Kunkka. Doesn't really mean a lot. The crit on Lina is nice. Gives them some bonus damage. Daedalus is where it's at though. If this Lina manages to get it, perhaps you'll be able to take down the TA and the Lifestealer.
Shackle, Palos. They caught him. The Gale Force being committed as well. They want to chase him down, but they don't have detection for him, I don't believe. So he gets back to the high ground, repositions, but here comes Tino, silence up, doesn't want to commit the BKB, so he gets caught, gets the BKB up, but he gets instantly roared. Can they bring him down? Have they got the damage? Doesn't look like he infests out onto the Troll Summoner. They'll keep him alive for a little bit longer as both teams looking to kind of poke around, disengage. Brewmaster gets a second split off, and this time it's on Mamang Dai, who does not have BKB anymore. The Cookie going to push him a bit further away. Needs that movement speed to get out of there. The Primal Split Warrior is still chasing him down. Looks like Lina going to get back to safety. No death just yet, but a shackle shot. It's Tim's again. He keeps on finding these shackles, the hero of this series. Sets up the kill on Omryu, and we'll get Palos as well, even though he's dead.
Okay, he should be fine on top lane. And that's Aghanim's completed on the Disruptor, I believe. Oh no, he actually TP'd.
Not quite. Now he's got it, but
yeah.
Wow. Tim's with these shackles is just owning it up.
The shackles were nice. The way they even fought that fight for OB.Neon wasn't that bad because Yopaj wasn't really in it for the majority of the time. He only came at the last 30%.
Yep. And that's the thing, it looked good, but the end result, not at all good.
Yeah, Tino, this BKB is genius playing in a game such as this one.
Mamang Cookie away, can he survive through it? Even with the AC, he still goes down! The Swift Blade giving so much extra attack speed, and they'll lose Abeng as well as Yopaj gets himself a double kill, and he gets himself a couple of tips as well. And they're going for the throne. They're ignoring the racks even, knowing that some of these heroes don't have buyback. They want to end this one. You mentioned Tino's item build. He is just so tanky in the front lines, just enabling Yopaj to get all these kills. And boom, despite a slow early game, it looks like they may take game number 2 unless Nino's buyback has anything to say about it. Tino gets roared. Follow up, is it going to be there? Tino gets the BKB off before the Snapfire can stun. The Scatter Blasters wasn't there in time, and they're going to GG out as the throne is being focused down, and Boom Esports have secured themselves a 2-0 victory.
Yep, I definitely think there's a lot of potential on the side of OB.Neon coming from this game and seeing them play versus Boom Esports. I think Boom at the moment in the SCA DPC is one of the favorites to take it all the way. But yeah, OB.Neon had a good draft, like had a decent idea, a different idea without a real carry. Just the Kunkka and the Lina that can kind of take it in that mid game with the Beastmaster. And they set it all up, but they really broke their backs on that first high ground push. Like you called it really well. They didn't have the discipline. They didn't have the patience to wait it out and build on their advantage. Instead, they went all in without all the resources. And that's what signaled Boom Esports comeback. That Blink with the TA, with the Infest, wiping OB.Neon, and then it just kind of snowballed out of hand.
Yeah. And while it is a 2-0, unfortunately, it was perhaps our most competitive game so far here in the SEA DPC League, and definitely a game where OB.Neon aren't going to be walking away saying, hey, we got out-drafted. They're probably thinking, man, this was our game. We could have had it. We could have forced a game 3, but it was not to be, so we'll see them more later on in the DPC. But to celebrate Broom's victory, we're going to head to a quick break and go back to a panel and talk to one of the Boom Esports members. We'll see you there.